Gook is a film directed by Justin Chon. Not only is it directed, it's acted, produced, and written. I think that's right. And this is only his second feature film. His first one was an indie film, and he's had a number of TV appearances. He has acted a lot, but this is his first really big. It's not a big budget film, but big as in people have started to recognize his work. It was quite critically acclaimed at the recent Sundance Festival, and now we're just getting it here in general release. So Gook obviously has something to say, as you can tell just by the title. Two Korean American brothers who are struggling to look after a store, a shoe store in 1992, set to the Rodney King riots. And so it's just outside of where the riots are happening, and these two brothers are looking after their father's store.
We don't serve your kind here.
Trying to survive. They're 2 months in arrears of rent. They owe money to a number of gangs, and it's a snapshot in their lives in amongst what's happening during these riots. And to complete the ensemble, they've made friends with an 11-year-old African American little girl named Camilla. And the story doesn't just concentrate on the two Korean brothers, but Camilla and her life, and it basically places you inside the story, and you have to catch up what's happened in their lives, which I really like about this film.
I mean, look around the show. Ain't nobody watching over us.
You have to accept that stuff has gone on before, and there's a history, and you just got to kind of play catch up, and it very cleverly allows you to play catch up as the story unfolds. And so this unlikely trio form this friendship.
Yo, what does that even mean?
Oh, Gook? In Korean, it just means country.
Camilla ditches school and often helps out at the shoe store, so she kind of works there but doesn't, and they're always telling her to, go back to school, and she never listens, and so she kind of works there. In parts, this film feels a little bit like Clerks, just in the way it's filmed and the documentary-esque style. It's not funny. There are funny moments. Unique to this film, it's filmed completely in black and white, and I'm not sure, sometimes films can come across as artsy-fartsy. I'm sure that's a real term, artsy-fartsy. This doesn't. The black and white works so well here. It kind of strips away all the race issues, although this film is totally about race. It's about Koreans and African American, and the riots and what's happening with the police brutality of Rodney King. So it's got all this setting around it. At the same time, you're focusing on the story and how it affects, how the Rodney King riots affected specifically the American Korean people in the story, and what happens in these two brothers' lives. And it's a really unique story. What I wasn't expecting is to be so emotionally engaged. The style of the film cleverly captures you and grips you and draws you in to it. So before you know it, you're really invested into all of the characters. The story gets really intense. One of the brothers will randomly walk out and get beaten just because he's Korean. Their relationships are broken and flawed, and I think this works so well because you can relate to a broken and flawed family. We're all broken in some ways. I have to say that the performances in this film are outstanding. At no point did I get bored. Simone Bakker plays
Black table?
Nah, like little kids.
You're battling me in.
I don't think you understand how comebacks work. Doors open, genius.
Camilla, and she is phenomenal. She, in every scene, she almost steals the scene that she's in, and that's hard to do because there are other performances by Justin Chon and the comedian YouTube star David So.
This is with the sale and the discount.
There's taxes on these things.
You people always trying to rip us off.
You people?
Their performances are really good. Every now and again you come across a film that you feel really rewarded for watching, and this is one of those. By the time I got towards the end and the story and direction of the film had cleverly drawn you in tightly into each of the characters that you're so invested, by the time I got to the end, when there's a climactic moment in the film, I had crocodile tears running down my eyes. I guess sometimes I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and sometimes I probably let my emotions get the better of me. But most of the time I feel like I'm a tough, strong guy.
Hey, Keith, can you tell me something good about Mom? What was she like?
I don't want to give any spoilers or give anything away, but the story really gets you emotionally that I think even the toughest guys will find it hard not to be invested in this film, because it's so relevant for where we are today as well now. Injustice around the world, brutality happening. This film has it's got something to say, and it says it in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Why are you always hanging around our place anyway?
We'll protect you guys. No one in this neighborhood likes you.
So instead of it being in your face, and some films just do that, they just throw their message in your face the whole time and you kind of feel like you're being preached at. This film has a story to tell and kind of has that same message, but it tells the story from these two Korean brothers and their tag along, and you do feel like you are experiencing something unique and something that's worthwhile watching. The filming is flawless in this. The black and white adds so much atmosphere to this film and story that I was mesmerized. The shots are kind of handheld, but at no point is it shaky camera, where, you know, those camera techniques are just ridiculous. Like, oh, shaky cameras. Our heads don't actually do this. It's subtle, nuanced, shaky, that puts you in the moment, that you are really there with them, experiencing what they're going through. This is a fantastic film, and if this is what Justin Chon is going to do, I can't wait to see what else he has for us in the future. I urge as many people to watch this film as possible. If you can't find it in the cinema, download it when it comes out on digital on April. It's really worth watching. Thank you so much for watching this review, and let me know if you're going to check this out, if you've seen it already. Love chatting to you guys in the comments. Bye.